Wow, that previous video did pretty well, which means it's time for a sequel, and if this video gets 2,000 likes, I'll get my nunchucks and do some really cool stuff with them. That's right, I own nunchucks and can do some pretty cool stuff with them. So if this video gets 2,000 likes, I'm cracking them out in the next video and doing some fun stuff. But onto the video, Mortal Kombat has tons of characters, including some obscure ones, which we covered in the previous video, and I thought I found them all, but nope, turns out there was more obscure characters to be discovered. And oddly enough, some of them play a really big role in the story, we just rarely see them. So today's video is all about them, but real quick, some ground rules. I can only pick characters from the games. That's right, no movies or TV shows, because then we'd be here all day. How many of you watching know about Perron? Huh? How about Lisa? Yeah, exactly. There's just too many obscure characters for one video. So today is all about the video game characters. And for rule number 2, they have to do something interesting of note. Alright, no random background characters. That's not a fun video. Alright everyone, that's it for the ground rules. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future content. And without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the Furies. That's right, how many of you know about the Furies in Mortal Kombat? Basically, they're the original Elder Gods that get mentioned in the first 2 Mortal Kombat games, but never again afterwards. Many villains like Shang Tsung have the goal of unbalancing the Furies, because that weakens the border between realms, which would allow Shao Kahn to invade and other evil nonsense like that. And apparently winning 10 straight Mortal Kombat tournaments is a good way to unbalance the Furies, which is why Earthrealm really needs to win this tournament in the first game, because if they lose, it's over for Earth. So the Furies are not divine rulers like the Elder Gods would be later. Instead, the Furies are more like a universal force of nature that stabilizes reality itself, which sounds pretty interesting. It's a unique concept. However, when you dig more into it, it's a direct ripoff from Big Trouble in Little China, which is the case for a lot of characters in early Mortal Kombat games actually, like Raiden and Shang Tsung. They're ripped straight from that movie, pretty much. And in that same film, the Furies are referenced as ancient positive and negative energies that cause universal stability in the cosmos. Yup, sounds pretty similar to how the Furies behave in Mortal Kombat, doesn't it? Which is why I'm glad the Furies got replaced with Elder Gods later on, but also it would be cool if the Furies somehow returned in future games, even if it's only a cute reference or a throwaway line in the dialogue. I think it would be cool if the Furies came back. Next up, let's talk about Karen, who appears in Mortal Kombat 11. That's right, a recent game, which is gonna be rare in this video. Most characters are from old games, but Karen is actually brand new and was never mentioned in any of the previous games. He's exclusive to Mortal Kombat 11. The previous games don't mention him even a little bit. He's an original character, and just like the Furies, a total ripoff from a different story. Yep, that's right. Karen is an immortal ferryman who can traverse the Sea of Blood between realms, and his main job is taking damned souls to the Netherrealm. If any of you like ancient mythology like I do, specifically Greek mythology, this probably sounds very familiar to you, because Karen is a direct reference to Charon, the Greco-Roman ferryman of the underworld, who, guess what, guided souls across the River of Styx to their various destinations within the underworld. Yup, in other words, it's another direct ripoff from another story. Mortal Kombat really does not care about copy and pasting characters every now and then, do they? And for the older games, I understand, because Boone and Tobias had no clue these games would get so popular, so they likely didn't worry about copyright fraud or stuff like that. But nowadays, Mortal Kombat is huge. It's really popular, a household name, I dare say, and yet they're still directly ripping off characters. Karen's job in Mortal Kombat 11 is identical to the Greek mythology story, and his name even sounds the same too. It's just spelled different. Now, real quick, before going any further, I wanted to mention something really cool I discovered as a Mortal Kombat fan. You've likely noticed the really cool statues behind me. Some of them are straight from fighting games. However, finding specific Mortal Kombat characters has been very difficult, along with my favorite comic book characters, and you get the idea. But guess what? Epic Creations has all that stuff. Just check out this amazing katana figure on screen right now. She's a decent size, lights up, all that incredible stuff. However, the shipping begins soon, so if you want this statue in particular, click the links in my pinned comment right away, because you want to order soon. But also, check out this awesome Noob Saibot statue statue, and then this Sub-Zero statue is so cool, he lights up, oh my god, amazing. I've personally ordered this one and the Katana statue already, I need them behind me. But also this Jade statue is in the production phase, so it's a great time to order her too. And yeah, honestly, there's so many more statues to talk about that I can't mention in this video, so if you're interested in any of this stuff, click my links down below in the pinned comment and have a look. Epic Creations is so cool, they make statues we all want, and it's from fans too. Actual fans are making this stuff, which is really cool, and I want to support them and hope we all do our part too. I want Epic Collections to grow even bigger and do even more cool statues, which is why I've already ordered 2 statues myself and wanted to give them a quick shout out. Alright, back to the video. Next up is the Lin Kuei Grandmaster. This guy rarely appears in the games and commands more interesting characters like Sub-Zero and Smoke. But what I find truly hilarious about this guy is he can't fight. Yeah, how did that happen? How did this man achieve status in the Mortal Kombat world? Nearly everyone needs to be a martial artist in these games to get anywhere in life, and the Grandmaster himself is in charge of a massive ninja army, but can't even fight. How did that happen? This character's also appeared in a recent movie too, and guess what? He gets folded immediately, like a Denny's omelet. Like, why does he suck so hard? Shouldn't the leader of a ninja clan have some fighting experience? I'm not saying he needs to be the best fighter in the world or go toe-to-toe with Liu Kang, anything like that, but come on, at least make him scary. Have him defeat some jobbers or lesser good guys on the side to make him seem slightly threatening, but nope, he gets folded like bed sheets every time he shows up. Because instead of fighting, he's more of a politician who corrupts the Lin Kuei from behind the scenes. In fact, in later games like Mortal Kombat 9, this guy has Sub-Zero fighting for Outworld. Yeah, that's right, and it's during the final Mortal Kombat tournament. As in, if we lose this one, Shao Kahn invades and kills everyone. So like, how dumb is this man on screen? Do you not realize how dumb you're being right now? If we lose, it's curtains for everyone, including you. Shao Kahn does not keep his deals. Anyways, I wanted to mention this character in the video because he gets mentioned all the time, but only appears in like 2 games at the most. So tons of fans don't know anything about him, even though he gets mentioned a lot, which is why I wanted to expose what a fraud he is in this video. Next up, let's talk about Argus, because he also gets mentioned all the time in recent games, but only physically appeared once in Armageddon. Argus is basically the god of Edenia and also its protector, kinda like Raiden. Only Argus can see the future, which makes him very influential in the Mortal Kombat universe. In fact, he even narrates the endings in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, in case you were curious about that. The narrator in Mortal Kombat games is always changing, so it's cool to know that in the final 3D era game, it's actually Argus. Oh, and also, he's the direct father of several characters, like Rain, Taven, and Dagon, to name a few. His wife is actually not a god, which I find interesting because it reminds me of Greek mythology. Like mentioned earlier, Mortal Kombat games take lots of inspiration from Greek mythology. You have this all-powerful god who prefers human women for some reason. Very Greek. His wife is named Delia, by the way, and she can do magic stuff sometimes. In fact, according to the Mortal Kombat wiki, she's a very powerful sorcerer. Or rather, she's a sorceress, to be specific, and if you're wondering why she has a dumb bucket on her head, the game never explains it. I'm guessing the developers thought it looked cool and mystical. Also, are we sure she's not Melina's mother too? Because they definitely dress the same, and also scream, "Don't look at my face." But yeah, these characters even get mentioned in Mortal Kombat 1. However, I think both of them are gods now. The game describes them as deities, because I guess NetherRealm doesn't like Greek mythology or something. And in my personal opinion, it makes their relationship less interesting, because you lose that element of gods loving humans, which I find fun. But I digress. My point is, these characters are in the new era, which means they could appear in future games, so keep your eyes peeled. Who knows, maybe Jade will be the daughter of Argus and Delia in a future game. That could happen. You never really know what NetherRealm's gonna do with the new timeline, so just know these characters are directly mentioned and likely to show up. And now finally, to end this video, there's no better character than Floyd, because this character single-handedly revived Mortal Kombat 1 for a good couple of months. The game even had more viewers on Twitch than Tekken and Street Fighter for a bit, thanks to him. But when it comes to his actual story, we don't know very much. He's an obvious parody of Pink Floyd, hence his name and colors, along with his rainbow attacks and whatnot. He's an obvious parody of the Pink Floyd album, very similar to how Rain was a parody of the Prince song, Purple Rain. For anyone watching who's not aware, that's why Rain wears purple, is a prince of Edenia, and commands water with the name Rain. It's all one big joke. And Floyd is the same same thing. He also steals moves from many characters, just like Reptile did in the first Mortal Kombat game. And speaking of Reptile, I think Floyd might be the same race as Chameleon, since he too has white eyes and very pale skin. Those two things combined are not a coincidence in my opinion. In fact, some people think that Floyd actually could be Chameleon, the guy version, but he just looks different because it's the new timeline. Maybe Liu Kang stepped on a fish or something and it made Chameleon pink in the new timeline. Who knows? Butterfly effects and whatnot. However, be careful whenever you bring up Floyd possibly being Chameleon, because some fans get really mad when you do that. They hate the idea of Chameleon being Floyd because that means we won't get Chameleon in a future game. Instead, we'll get Floyd. And regardless of that small group of angry fans, many players do want Floyd to become fully playable in the next Mortal Kombat game. And of course, I myself personally agree with that idea. In fact, he should be made playable in the final update of this game, I think, Mortal Kombat 1. I understand he can't be playable in online modes or tournaments because he'd be too good, but why not let us use him in offline modes or invasions, towers, stuff like that? There's honestly no real reason not to, NetherRealm. It's already possible to play him with mods, so we know it's doable. Make him playable for everybody, NetherRealm. Free Floyd in the final update of Mortal Kombat 1. Do us all a favor. Leave a like down below for Floyd. I'm just kidding. That's it for today's video, everyone. All the remaining obscure characters I could think of in Mortal Kombat history. As mentioned earlier, I limited myself to the video games because the movies and the shows especially have a lot of obscure characters that show up, and some of them are pretty interesting and actually impact the story, so that could be great for a future video. But for today's video, that's about it. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.